think you're gonna stay here, mister? You want some food?
So this morning we are cleaning house and we're gonna head out to go buy some, what are they called?
Coffee.
We're going out to celebrate my success by getting coffee, but we're also buying cast iron.
Yeah, cast iron skillet.
Cast iron skillets, hopefully at Walmart.
Or
Or
at a local Ace Hardware. Try and
Yeah.
support the local people.
Because we have been using
Teflon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not the healthiest choice, so we want to make better decisions for our health, and cast iron is pretty much the best option that we know of.
Yeah, it doesn't contain
All the plastics.
the Teflon coatings, and even the Teflon-free non-stick pans. Instead of using Teflon, they use some other chemical that I don't remember the name of, but it's basically just as bad for you. So, good old cast iron. You keep it well seasoned. Use plenty of good quality oil, good quality fat. You shouldn't have any real sticking problems. Biggest problem that I think Taylor has with cast iron is the weight.
Yeah, they're so heavy.
They're super heavy, yeah, and they're kind of a bear to clean. But I think it'd probably be worth it in the long run. They last forever, so you don't really have to worry about like buying a new skillet every year because the Teflon coating wore off or whatever. And where's it wearing off? In your food. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And coffee. We ran out of decaf. We've been trying to like drink decaf as much as possible,
so we can slowly cut coffee. So we're fully carnivore,
Yeah.
which, by the way, we started doing.
Not super stoked on cutting out coffee out of my life, but
Yeah.
I get the water process coffee decaf.
So it doesn't have all the chemical processes to
Yeah.
make it decaf.
Yeah, it's not chemically stripped. They use some water process. Again, I don't know the details of how all that works, but yeah. But we're just gonna go get some Starbucks.
Because I lost 2.4 pounds this week doing the carnivore-ish diet. It's been mostly carnivore, but we did have some things that we wanted to get rid of in our fridge, like some greens. I think we had a salad one night, but for the most
Turnips.
part, yeah, we had a couple turnips that we used. But for the most part, we've been carnivore, and we've been walking most days, going on a walk, just taking it light and easy.
Of course, we
nothing
always
super strained.
We always pick like the hottest part of the day to do our walk.
Yeah. But we've also just been like moving our bodies a lot more. We've been working outside in the garden, like trying to make things happen around the property. So I think that's helpful too. I know from the Paleolithic standpoint of trying to live more in alignment with our ancestors, it's a lot more important to move your body super often. So I think that's helpful too.
Yeah.
Rather than just sitting on our butts.
Well, I sit on my butt to work, so
Yeah, well, me too.
there's
but
no illusions that I'm ever gonna attain the level of some ancestral, caveman guy running around all day long. I'm never gonna reach that point just because I don't have the option to.
But at least when you take your breaks, you like have to walk inside and walk back out. It's like a little tiny break, but it's still moving your body a little bit more than you would if you just had a water fountain right next to you. And
I think the big one for me is like I need to focus more on things that loosen up my lower back and my hips, because that's what gets really frozen from when I'm sitting. My piriformis muscle gets super tight. My hip flexors get super tight. So doing things that are kind of like, as much as I hate squats, things that are a little more squat oriented. things that make me bend over and stuff and kind of stretch those muscles out. I need to focus on those a little bit, because just doing a simple walk doesn't really loosen those muscles up for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. I definitely want to start incorporating more exercise into my day. I've been saying this a lot with Brian, and I think going on walks every day for the last few weeks has been really helpful, but I think at this point it's time to kind of do that thing. Like do more. Yeah. A hard exercise.
And we both subscribe to Fit On,
mm-hmm.
the Fit On app. And I think I mostly just want to focus on yoga and stuff like that for right now, because again, I want to loosen my muscles up and not be so stiff. But I know Taylor likes doing their HIIT workouts and things that are a little bit more high intensity.
I do also really like, so Mark Sisson recommends to do 3 days of something that's using your body weight. And then I think 1 day of lifting weights, like lifting heavy things. But I think that includes your body.
No.
Wait, let me reconsider what that is. It's 3 days of lifting heavy things, 2 days of sort of lighter work, which would include yoga or Pilates, which I found that I really like doing Pilates, and I like doing yoga. So those are kind of like your off days, but you're still doing something for your body. And then one day out of 7 days you should do a sprint, which I actually did do 2 weeks ago. I went out sprinting, or was that last week?
Last week.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 weeks ago I did go for a sprint. So that felt really good. I was actually really surprised that I did as many as I did. So I would do I picked out a spot from one tree to another tree on the neighbor's property, and I kind of did like a little warm up and a walk, and then I sprinted from that one tree to the next tree, and then would walk back and then do it again. The goal is to get your heart rate down and then ramp it back up really quickly. And you don't want to do this too often, but it is a really good fat burner.
Put the camera up, you're cutting your face off.
It's a really good fat burner, but you don't want to do it too often because it raises cortisol, which is a hormone inside you that should really not be raised that often. It's mainly in Paleolithic times. It was like the only time you sprinted was when you were running away from something like a bear or something that like a predator that was going to attack you. So you don't want to do it all the time, because that you don't want to raise that stress hormone.
Don't run from bears. They're faster than you. They'll catch you.
Yeah. But that, you get it. Anyways, we're gonna get coffee. Bye. So we just got back from our local Ace Hardware and got a new pan. This is the pan that we're replacing. And this is our new cast iron griddle skillet. I believe it's 10 inches wide, and we're super excited to be using it. We also bought this cute little rubber holder so that we don't burn our hands when we're trying to move it. And since they're so heavy, I feel like I always need to grab it so close to the edge so it doesn't put as much pressure on my wrists. So I think this will be super helpful.
So normally whenever I get a new cast iron pan, even though they're pre-seasoned, I still like to wash them with soapy water, just to get whatever manufacturing and shipping stuff off of it. And then we're putting on this induction stovetop, heat plate, whatever you want to call it, and we'll let that get up to temperature. Once some of the water kind of evaporates, then I'll put some oil on there, and we'll just let it kind of season for a few minutes, let it get hot, let the oil soak into the pores of the metal, and that way it'll be ready for first use, and there won't be any nasty shipping chemicals and whatever left on it. Let it go.
good reason why you should check your ingredients and labels and everything, because sometimes when you think something is going to be super healthy for you, it just isn't. So the actual, I think the brand is called Lodge. So the Lodge brand has their own seasoning spray that you could buy from the local Ace hardware store. And I was like, oh, should we get that? And he's like, no, look at the front of it. It says canola oil. And if you know anything about oils, canola oil is definitely one that you should be staying away from. So we are currently seasoning it with coconut oil and Kirkland brand. Just got to come back on here and mention we are using coconut oil versus using animal fat, just because it's not something that we're going to be eating. I don't use coconut oil for cooking anymore. I mainly use animal fat and ghee, but it doesn't really, Brian just said, it doesn't really matter in this situation because we're not going to be eating this. It's just to set our pan up.
Yeah, it's just to soak into the pan and give it a nice slick surface for the next time you cook on it. And I'm going to be wiping out any excess oil that's left in there.
So it is almost 7, basically 7, and I have been editing my video like since 9:30 I think, and I'm still not done. I'm feeling hard pressed to be able to actually get it done by tomorrow to get it posted and start editing another one so that I can post it the next day. But we'll see. We decided to come in because I need something to eat. My fast is supposed to end at 7.
Good.
So yeah, we're going to make something to eat, and I'm going to show you what it's going to be. Has not been decided yet, but we'll see. What do you want to eat, Bray? Shrimp?
Want to eat or yeah?
We should eat.
We should eat shrimp. We should eat leftover ribs. We should eat chicken.
Okay.
So
let's do those things.
Start with that, I guess.
Shrimp and leftover ribs it is. Unless we're hungry for more, then we may do more. So Mr. Stud Muffin Brian is going to use our Ninja Foodie to fry up, broil our leftover ribs. Are you gonna cook the shrimp in there too?
Probably not, because we probably want to have them basted in butter or something like that.
Broil for 10 minutes.